Most people assume, including myself, that the physical aspect in recovering from any injury is the most difficult aspect in the road to recovery. But I'm finding out with this recurring back injury and maybe inching closer and closer to a possible surgery, the mental aspect, as I reassess and reevaluate everything, the mental aspect of this struggle with injury recovery and also, more importantly, injury reoccurrence and prevention is the toughest hurdle for me to overcome. Now, just to recap, if you haven't watched anything from here, you have no idea who I am. My name is Stevie Richards, and I was a professional wrestler for over 31 years, but also I am a fitness enthusiast. I've tried, as I've aged, and now at 53 years old, I'm trying to adjust, I'm trying to reassess, and I'm trying to change my fitness journey, maybe even centering it into a health, wellness, and most importantly, a longevity journey. So trying to change my mindset there, it's not quite working because this latest reoccurrence, we know it came probably from jumping rope. I was jumping rope. I always used to love to jump rope, and used to is the key word, because now with my spine infection, the back injuries, everything flaring up, the herniated disc touching the nerve, all these different factors, I still mentally went back and said, I used to do this, I used to enjoy this, and it never gave me a problem before. Well, that was then, and this is now. So I still struggle changing that mindset from an athlete, from a sports entertainer, from a professional wrestler, from somebody that feels like they need to show everything in such a way to inspire others. And now I'm trying to shift that mindset, but these reoccurring injuries keep coming up because the old ego from years and decades ago really does creep up. So while I'm physically hurt right now, my back is screaming at this moment and has been for well over a week to 2 weeks. It's really up here that I need to work on right now so I never feel like this again. I've tried before, I failed, but that's what happens in any journey in life, whether it's health, fitness, wellness, nutrition, job, career, business, whatever it is. There's going to be successes and there's probably going to be a lot more failures. And I'm finding that out right now. So we need to change our mindset. Most importantly, I need to change my mindset as well. And I love documenting this for you each and every time because I feel like this kind of transparency, first and foremost, we don't feel alone. So leave a comment, let me know I'm not alone in this, but we don't feel alone in this journey, and we don't feel like we're crazy, we don't feel like we're weak, I don't feel like I'm getting too old, I feel like I can adjust and train smarter. The implementation and working up here is definitely still a struggle and the hardest part. So another mental aspect in a road to recovery from an injury is not focusing on what you cannot do. It's like anything in life. Everybody, 99 people can love you. You pay attention to the one person that says something bad about you. Well, it's the same thing in the fitness world or the fitness kind of journey of everybody out there. We focus way too much on what we can't do and try to struggle to overcome those hurdles. Now, I'm not saying if something is difficult, don't do it at all. What I'm saying is, if it's difficult and it hurts you and it doesn't benefit you and you have setbacks, regressions, injuries, all these different things you need to recover from in your health, wellness, fitness, nutrition journey, whatever it might be, then you're in dangerous territory. And I'm in that right now because all I said to my wife over and over again was, I can't do jump rope anymore. I can't do this, I can't do that. And she reminded me, well, you can do all these other things and they're low impact. And you are the resistance band guy, and you got into really good shape just using resistance bands, body weight, cardio, yoga, those things. When I was back in TNA, that's all I did was yoga, P90X with bands, and just cardio. That was it. That was my leanest. I felt my best. There was a little bit of impact on my joints, obviously, from wrestling, but I trained smarter back then than I do now sometimes. I don't get it. It is really ego, pride, and just wanting to push myself. And once again, I've mentioned it time and time again, I cannot. I'm a huge Rocky fan. I know I'm from Philly. You have to be. You have to be required to be a Rocky fan of all the movies except for Rocky V. You may get thrown out of Philadelphia for that, but I didn't mind Rocky V. But the Rocky training montages in all those movies except for 5 is really what gets a lot of people, including myself, in trouble. Look at Sylvester Stallone doing all this stuff, getting ready to fight Drago and Mr. T and all these people. Why can't I do that? And you get inspired and you push, but it's not healthy and it's not the real world. And I spoke about celebrities and celebrity training and chicken, rice, and broccoli. We all know what that means. So, but that's also in our mental aspect that goes into the social media, the fitness influencers, and all that stuff. We all need to get that garbage out of our heads and just focus on ourselves, our journey. You're an individual. I'm an individual. Your life is one way. My life might be another. We need to follow our own path. I think another mental aspect of what I just talked about the positive, what can you do, not what can't you do, is also gratitude. I am grateful after a week or two that I can even walk and talk here with you right now. The last one I did was kind of shaky. This one's a little bit better. I was able to get on the recumbent bike. And of course, I've been doing a lot of yoga and stretching. I have a modification workout. If you want to check that out, a modification yoga workout for people with back injuries. By the way, consult a physician or a medical professional before doing any workout like that or any workout in general. As a matter of fact, I have to consult my medical professional this Monday to see if surgery might be an option. But I definitely want to avoid that. And my mindset says there are plenty of options and plenty of treatments and plenty of physical therapy and plenty of things I can do to not only strengthen my back and my core, because those go hand in hand, but also just avoid stuff and train smarter. Process of elimination of all the stuff that hurts, then that. We know body weight, and especially bands, variable resistance, no impact, no inertia. There's so many different things that anybody can do out there to fit their health, wellness, fitness, longevity journey, and even nutrition. There's tons of diets out there, there's tons of workouts. So we need to look at being grateful for what we can do and grateful that we can do anything. Now, I'm not saying that it doesn't hurt, it doesn't get frustrating. I don't cry. I don't say, why am I breaking down? Am I finally done? Is my back finally hitting the wall, much like with the spine infection? And maybe now my back is hitting a wall. But 31 years of wrestling and still to be able to walk here and talk to you and have somewhat of a clear mind, because not today, CT, hopefully no day. I should be grateful for that I can communicate something and even share my journey and share the struggles and share all that stuff and hopefully serve others, help others, and benefit others. There's always a positive. That's why I try to film these things and film and document the spine infection, the back injury, and everything like that, especially when I just relapse and it gets bad or it gets worse each time, because I don't want you to feel like you're the only one out there. I feel like that sometimes, and it is a horrible, horrible feeling. So here's some tips where you and I both can work on twisting our mindset in a more positive direction. I used the term earlier, failure, which I don't want to do, because it's not a failure, it's not a setback, it's not regression, it's feedback as you assess your fitness journey, or any journey for that matter, whether it's job, business, career, personal life. You always need to reassess. So I got some feedback when my back got hurt again, and now I need to act accordingly. I need to train smart. I need to do everything smart. And I definitely need to add on to that anything that inflames my body, whether it's working out, diet, nutrition, rehab, recovery, cardio, weights. It's about eliminating all the impact, all the inflammation, anything that can flare my back up. Now, the trick with me at 53 is, do I need surgery or not need surgery? And how long will that last? And what can I do if I don't, or even if I do get the surgery, what do I do to make sure I never need another one again and somehow I feel better from it? There's some people that have back surgeries and it's worse. Ozzy Osbourne had one right before his death and he said it made it worse. That is a fear in my mind. And speaking of fear, here's the other tip. I am so afraid sometimes after I get hurt to do anything. I need to remove myself from that, and I need to think about my body as kind of like a lab experiment. Like I said, reassess, look at things. It really does kind of separate you emotionally, at least temporarily, from feeling anyway, and treating it more logically. Like I said, you reassess, you look at it, you have a plan to overcome it or avoid it, and you'd be so surprised how that works. I was surprised, and guess what? I still went back to training like Rocky. So I need to learn the biggest lesson of all out of everybody here on this channel. So I am right there with you. Also, very positive part of this. Do not document, reassess, and do all that stuff. But as you do that, keep what's called a victory log. Small, medium, large victories, they're all the same victories, especially when you're overcoming an injury, a roadblock, when you hit a wall. You have to write it down. Kind of like when you write the pros and cons, when you want to make a decision, do that. And make sure that you put in your Apple Notes or whatever note-taking app, or write it down on paper. Look back at that. Like you say, I have to write down, never jump rope again. So when I get tempted to do jump rope, maybe I have to look at that. Things you shouldn't do. Idiot, meaning me, I'm an idiot. And you should not do this. And it reminds me, takes my ego out of it. And I said, obviously, I wrote that down. And now I have a victory by avoiding that and avoiding something that's going to set me back. Is it frustrating? Yeah. Is it frustrating getting older? Yeah, most times it is physically like this. Is it a mystery how my back got this way? Not at all. I chose to do this. I chose to do something I love, something I still love, the art of professional wrestling, talking about it, doing breakdowns, analysis videos. I love doing that stuff. But I am paying a price that I knew was coming. And now, right now, is the time to make sure I can minimize a future price that I'm going to pay from that. So we never come out of wrestling the same way we went in, never come out of any sport or anything like that that's physical the same. We never come out of it 100%. I accept that, and my heart goes out to anybody out there that didn't do this and didn't fall on their back probably 2 million times during the 31-year career I had and ended up with the same pain and all that stuff. My heart really, truly goes out to you, and this is the reason why I want to make these videos, to let you know you're not in it alone. Everybody can suffer, but everybody can also lift each other up, and we can all write something in our victory logs at the end of the day. So that about does it for this video. Please subscribe, click the bell to get notified, comment below. I really want to hear about your injury recovery story or any struggles that you're going through, whether it be mental, physical, or both. Please leave a comment below. I appreciate the interaction. I also appreciate everybody really enjoying these walk and talk videos. I enjoy doing them, and I love talking to each other and wanting to be out there. So please leave a comment below. Most importantly, God bless each and every one of you. Have a great day.